Ron said, I'm bilateral and have had a microvascular decompression on both sides, as well as having a partial sensory rhizotomy on both sides. I've also had a balloon compression on the left side. The partial sensory rhizotomies have pretty much taken care of the shocking pain, thankfully. The balloon compression caused a fourth nerve palsy that thankfully resolved on its own and caused a painful numbness. The left side partial sensory rhizotomy resulted in a near-fatal staph infection of my skull and dura. Nikki said, I have had maxillofacial surgery and have had my nasal cavities cauterized. The cauterization was the worst pain in the world for my face and had me buckled over screaming and crying for what seemed like days. No relief. Eve said, I got referred to a world-renowned neurosurgeon in May. They are the best at reading MRIs. He found a loop near my nerve and told me about MVD. I automatically went for it, hoping this nightmare would end. 2 weeks later, I had my MVD for left side glossopharyngeal neuralgia. Recovery was tough and still is. I'm now 3.5 months post-op and every day is something different. I have my good days and my bad days. Recovery takes a long time and it's a roller coaster. Even though my throat pain was gone, other discomforts began. Then those discomforts got better and others came about. Very frustrating, but staying positive and accepting my new normal has helped me. I still have pain from time to time, but honestly, MVD and going to see a neurosurgeon was the best thing I did. Research your surgeon and get second opinions as well. Teresa said, currently recovering from my MVD. I had a bone hanging over the nerve, which was why the MRI did not show my compressions. Aaron said, I had a nerve block done, but unfortunately where my pain is, I believe it was too high up to really be affected by the medications. I also tried Botox, but that unfortunately did not work for me either.
For me, surgical procedures have been a huge part of my life with facial pain. I had my first MVD a month after my 17th birthday. I went in with a lot of hope, and waking up without the pain was one of the most amazing yet scariest experiences of my entire life. But before I could worry too much about the pain possibly returning, I did have complications with that surgery. I had developed a pretty bad CSF leak and had to stay in the ICU for a week. I couldn't move, I couldn't eat, I couldn't go to the bathroom or turn the bright lights on without just getting these intense headaches and nausea. I ended up having 2 epidural blood patches, which were incredibly uncomfortable, but they did solve the issues and I was able to go home. 3 months after my surgery, my worst fear came true and the pain started coming back. I had never been so depressed in my life. I didn't even think it was worth living anymore. And it took a long time for me to change that mindset. The pain got really bad in the years following my surgery, and I tried everything out of desperation, but nothing ever worked enough. I had some scans redone in 2019, and they found fibrous adhesions on my nerve, likely caused from the first surgery. And so I went back for my second MVD in July, where they dissected the adhesions, placed new Teflon, and they mildly injured my nerve to hopefully create longer lasting relief. I didn't have complications with this surgery, thankfully. I do still live in pain every day. I still take quite a few medications. However, things are more tolerable and more manageable these days, and I am incredibly grateful for that.
Ken said, I had unsuccessful MVDs in 2012 and in 2014, and finally a balloon rhizotomy in 2014. The balloon rhizotomy worked with minor flare-ups. The MVD in 2014 at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona was completely unsuccessful, and the trip home was a nightmare. After the balloon rhizotomy in 2014, I thought my jaw had been broken, as my teeth wouldn't fit together, and it made eating very difficult. I eventually found out that this is normal, and it eventually subsided. Ashton said, My healthcare team strongly advises against surgical options for me due to past surgical complications, and I'm 100% okay with that.
In May of 2021, I underwent microvascular decompression surgery, otherwise known as MVD, for my TN. I have TN1 and TN2, so that has been a journey. I'm around like 3.5 months post-op from the surgery, and I'd say it was definitely worth it. I was presented the idea in like January or February of this year. Hey, this is basically your only way out, your only option to treat TN, give you 5 to 10 years of pain relief, hopefully, besides the medications, because the medications were starting to lose their efficacy, not work for me, and give me extreme negative side effects. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take some time off, and in May underwent the surgery, and it has been an interesting experience. Resting in bed was crucial for the first like 6 weeks. Like the more you rest in the first 6 weeks and don't do anything, don't push it, I think the better the recovery will go. I'm just starting now to like really pick up my exercising again, but I'm not picking up like heavy objects because that can give me headaches and nausea. I'm happy to report the surgery was successful. I don't have any of those jolts and shocks anymore. In the beginning of recovery, kind of here and there, but I think things were settling in, but fingers crossed for decades of pain relief.
Bianca said none, but my neurologist said on the very first appointment that he wouldn't entrust my brain to any neurosurgeon in Nicaragua. Catherine said, I had my first MVD in October 2015 and did great for 15 months. Pain came back in February 2017. I had a balloon rhizotomy in October 2019, but that made it worse. Then I had my second MVD in May 2020. I've been doing great since then. When I had my first MVD, I had a spinal fluid leak and they fixed it. Sydney said, I have had no procedures yet. Mandy said, I have not. I have consulted with a few surgeons, but was told I am not a candidate due to being atypical and bilateral. Elma said, I have not had any. Marva said, yes. They said it was just for investigation, but that helped.
I will be getting my MVD in a couple weeks, and I'm looking forward to hopefully not having to deal with this for many years.